Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow travelers. Alex here, coming at you today from FTB Revelation. How y'all doing today? So last time, guys, we worked on these apiaries. Or actually, I think this was 2 times ago. I don't remember, but we did get a common drone out of this, which is what we were looking for. So I've just keeping recycling the bees. These impregnated frames are doing their job. We haven't gotten anything over here yet, but we shall just keep cycling them through as we go about other things. Now, we did work on, if I can get in there, industrial craft last time for sure. Got the solar power going. We spread out with our macerator and started making coolant. So pretty cool. But today, guys, we are going to get back to blood magic. And we're going to work down here. Let me through. And on this altar, and getting it so we can get blood without having to do it ourselves. We're going to use what we have up there. And as you remember, you can see our conveyors doing their job. We're going to work on this today. One thing I did learn, I did not know, that I think is pretty darn cool, is glowstone in this pack. Because we have quark, you can place it down like you do redstone. So you take a piece of glowstone dust and just place it on the ground, and that provides light. You get a little bit of particle effect, and it provides light, much like if it were a glowstone block. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever realized quark did that. So pretty darn cool. Very cool. Now, before we get going on this, actually, you know what? Let us start with our conveyor up there and get that finished up. So we are using these conveyors from Industrial Foregoing because it's short of the conveyors from Immersive Engineering. It's the only conveyors in the pack. And they're relatively easy to make. Look at these guys. And it's just plastic, iron, and redstone. So not too bad. Not too bad. So we can go ahead and just make a few more of those. Now, they're pretty slow by default, but you can speed them up using glowstone. I'll show you that here momentarily. Now, these are actually running at a higher speed. So I've already upgraded these, and you see they move you along at a pretty decent clip. Pull you right here into the center block, which is what I'm looking for. So let's lay some of these guys out, and I'm just going to point the direction I want them to go and lay them out as such. Alright, so we get these laid down like so, and you can see these are running much slower. These ones we just placed are running much slower than these previous ones. The way you get them to run faster is with dabbing them with a piece of glowstone. Notice when I hit it with the glowstone, it consumes the glowstone and it starts moving much quicker. So we just run through like so, and you see that back line is running faster than the middle line. So we just do that to all of them, and we get them up to the speed we want. Fantastic. So let me go ahead and get all the rest of these in place, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, I seem to have got myself into a bit of a pickle here. Just being ping-ponged around. Now, one thing you can do, just hold shift, and you can walk across all of them as needed. Fantastic. Anybody that gets in this room that touches one of these things should be funneled right into that center block, which is where we want them. So So that is phase 1. Now, we need to look at the spawners that we're going to use. So remember, guys, we picked up that blaze spawner a while ago. And I've got it in a chest over here. Now, it is a natural blaze spawner in its current state. Pop it down. You see, within 35 blocks, that spawner is going to be lit up. And it's going to be trying to spawn bad things. But if I come way over here, it won't. Actually, let's pop it over here. I don't have enough room in here to see it. So if I pop it there, you see it spinning and sparking. Come over here, it stops. I think it's 35 blocks. I don't remember. Something like that. Yeah, you activate it on that block right there. Don't activate it on that block right there. That will work in this room over here. We could pop that up there and it will work. But it's not... it doesn't produce... You know, I have to be too close to it for it to produce. And I want to be able to be further away to have it produce. So I think we're going to do what's called resturbing it. So I need to see if I have drops of evil. I do. Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and resturb this spawner. Because as long as I'm providing it with grid power, which is a different type of power than we've made yet, we'll have to make some, it will produce mobs, whether I'm there or not. And I can turn it off with redstone, which is awesome. So I'm just going to pop this guy down. Put a drop of evil in my hand. You get these from killing wither skeletons. And I'm going to just bap the spawner with the drop of evil. And you just collect the spawner like so. Now you see it looks a little bit different. And you'll see it is a blaze spawner. But I can turn it on and off with redstone, which is awesome. But it will not work. If you notice right below the spawner it says grid power 0 of 0. So I need to produce grid power in order for this spawner to work. Now we do have one other spawner reasonably close that we can go get. If I just pop down here. Remember when we unpacked or opened up this area down here, we found this zombie spawner right here. This guy right here. So we can just disturb him as well. Take our drop of evil, bap it, collect it. Now we have a zombie spawner. Fantastic. So now that we have these two disturb spawners, we need to make some grid power. Now grid power is from a mod called Extra Utilities. And you make it with items called mills. So if I search mill, these are the different mills. So you have a hand crank mill, obviously a creative mill, which we can't use. A dragon egg mill, which we need a dragon egg, and that produces 500 GP. This is the best one. A fire mill, which can produce 4 GP if placed over fire. A windmill, which, depending on where it is in the world, will produce more or less power. You have a water mill, which produces 4 GP. And you have, when put by running water, and it's per side, if I remember right. And you have a lava mill, which is 4 GP when adjacent to lava. There's also some solar panels, which anybody that watched my Project Ozone Light series, you'll remember these guys. We used the solar panels on our base to produce our grid power. We also used, there were lunar panels as well, which we do not have in this pack, apparently. Actually, let's just do panel. Yeah, there we go. There's the lunar panels right there. But these only give you 1 GP, a little over 1 GP, which, you need a whole boatload of them. So I think we're going to do mills. And you know, I never really do fire mills. We could absolutely do some fire mills. Or we could just do the old standard water mill. We're going to start with this guy, because you always got to start with this guy. Which is basically just a hand crank, right? And you do need this resonating crystal, which you get from mining redstone, basically. There we go. We've got our hand crank. And we're going to need a device called, it's a machine, called a resonator. This red guy right there. And he's kind of the be-all, end-all machine for anything to do with grid power. So we'll just plop him down, and we're going to plop this manual mill down. Now the manual mill can be anywhere in the world. It does not have to be connected to that machine. The thing with grid power is any grid power you make in the world, like right now I'm making 15 grid power by turning this mill. Any grid power you make in the world powers all the machines in the world, no matter where they are, which is pretty cool. Now what we want to make, because all these machines, all these mills required a material called stone burnt. So that's polished stone in the resonator. So we need to make a bunch of polished stone. And we'll pop that in the resonator. And you see we got 32 here. We have no grid power. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to... Now, one cool thing with this manual mill is you can hit the key and you... Like, I've taken my hands off the keyboard and mouse and he's still bapping it. So as long as you don't look away, like if I grab the mouse and look away, it'll stop. But as long as I don't do that, he'll just sit there and spin this all day long. Which is kind of nice. I don't have to sit there holding the mouse. So we're going to let him crank up. You see it's grid power is generating up to 15. We're going to let it go all the way to 15. Alright, now let's check on here. And we've made 3 stone burnt thus far. So we need at least 6 to make a machine. So I need 3 more. Alright, there we go. We got 7. That'll work. So let's start with just a regular old water mill, I think. Just because they're easy. And I'm very familiar with them. They're kind of the catch-all that everybody uses. I think we will make some other mills further down the road, though. Just because I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. Alright, so we're going to take this guy, and we're going to get some... Do I have water? I have 1 bucket of water. Let's grab another bucket of water. Got a water source out here. We'll load that up. And we're just going to go stick this mill down. Again, they can be anywhere in the world. I think we're just going to go over here in this back corner. Just somewhere out of the way. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. There we go. And we'll put our water mill down like so. And I'm going to put water there. And I'm going to put water. Now you see it's producing about 14 GP. If I put water here as well, you get 16. Because it adds to the water flow on this side. When water flows, you know how it starts up almost a full block and then it goes down as it spreads out, and it'll spread out, what is it, 7 blocks I think, until it gets to its lowest level. If I pick this up, you see it's higher here than it is here. That means this side is producing more power than this side. That's why it's 14 if I put my bucket there. Now if I put my bucket here against the machine, you see it's only producing 8, because this doesn't count at all because it's not flowing water. This is a source block. This is flowing at the higher level, but it's not touching the machine. This is the 1 step down block, right? And then you have a little tiny bit over here, you know, the halfway down power. So the further away you get your sources, the worse off it's going to be. But you don't want your source up against the machine. You want it to have the highest level of flowing water on each side of the machine. This is the pattern that gets you the most. Right here. And it is scalable. You can tear it down. So you would, dig these out. You would put another machine right here, which we will do here shortly. And then you put another source block right there. So you got one source block there, or actually put it right there. And then you would have your two sides again. So I'll show you here in a minute. This guy, if we mouse over it, is producing 16 GP. It is in use because our resonator in there is making stone burnt for us, without me having to turn that manual mill. You make this and use it pretty much one time. Yeah, see, he's producing all the GP we need. He only needs 8. And he is just cranking out the stone burnt for us. So fantastic. So we can pretty much get rid of that. You won't need it again. I will go fill up my water bucket because I always like to have a water bucket on me. And we will put those away where they belong. More than enough to make another mill. And let's go ahead and make another water mill so you can see what they look like when we tier them together. So there's another water mill, and we'll need another water bucket and our digger. Alright, and we're going to put this guy right there. So we got a source there. So tall flowing water there, tall flowing water there, but low flowing water here and here. So we want to add another source block right there. They're not close enough that they're going to combine to make additional source blocks. If we put the water here, it would. Now he's making 16 and he's making 16 for a mass total of 32. And that should be enough to drive these spawners. Yeah, see, the GP is increasing. And this is our zombie spawner, Disturb Zombie. And eventually he will spawn some baddies for us. The more power we give it, obviously, the better off it's going to be. So we're either going to need some more water or some more, lava or solar, whatever. Some form of additional grid power. So let me make some more grid power. Make some more stone burnt. Get this kind of sorted out. And I will bring you back. Now I'm going to go ahead and make some upgrades for this machine because it is producing a little bit slow. So we need some gold pressure plates or some weighted pressure plates. Pop them in the resonator and you're going to get these upgrade bases. So let's get a couple of those. Excellent. Come over here and we're going to go with this upgrade speed. Need a redstone block and an additional piece of gold, and that'll give us these upgrades. And you can have a max of 4 in each machine. So if we pop these in here, all right, it's using too much GP. That's why it's no longer doing anything. If I pull one of these out, it's still using too much GP. Well, that's a bummer. Oh, it's done. Fantastic. Ah, there we go. It's using 24 GP. It was just, it had already done, it was visual glitch, hadn't moved it over yet. But it's using 24 GP, so remember we're producing 32. So we're using 24 of 32. So if we make these additional upgrades, we're not going to be able to use them yet because we don't have enough power. So we need to get this stone burnt going. Let's see if I pop an additional one in here. Oh, that takes us to 32. But you see, we're right on the edge. We're cruising on the edge. So we want to tone that down just a little bit. until we get some more mills in place. So remember, we're just going to alternate checkerboard pattern, if you will. So we need one there. We need one there. Let's see, we got one here, so we need one there. And we need one there. Now all of these should be producing 16 grid power. And they are fantastic. So that should be a ton of grid power for us. Excelente. And we can go ahead and pop those additional 2 in there because we're producing 85.3 grid power right now. Now for giggles, let's go ahead and make a lava mill. Tell you what, let's make 2 of them. And let's make a fire mill. A couple of them. And we'll make a couple of windmills. Just so we can try out all the different ones, right? Grab a few torches because it's a little dark in there. And I'm going to need some... Let's get some netherrack for our fire. I think we'll put the fire mills down over here. And I think we'll just put it right there. We'll put... Boom. Yeah. Let's try this. Now, do I have a flint and steel? We'll get those going. Now with the netherrack, that should just burn forever. And I'm going to put some helper blocks. And we're going to grab those little fire mills right here. We're going to pop them down just like so. You can see the fire underneath. You see it spinning the little fan. And you can see that each one is producing 4 GP. So these produce 16, but take up a 3x3. Though it can be combined with its neighbor. These produce 4 GP, but only take up, 1 block, on the X and Z, but 3 blocks on the Y if you count the netherrack down there. So you got the netherrack, the fire, and the mill itself. Now we need to grab some lava. Some buckets. We got a lava production facility over here, so that should be easy peasy. Grab a couple buckets of that. And let's toss. And I think we can do... Actually, I think I want to do it this way. I don't know that I've ever used this before. This particular mill. So, yeah, let's just try it out. Actually, let's start out simple, right? So we're going to toss the mill down right here. And I'm going to put some lava on that side of it. And we see it's producing 2 GP. So if I take this bucket of lava, pop it right here, still only producing 2 GP. So I figured it would go up. Interesting, it does not. I figured with each side it would go up, but that does not seem to be the case. Operates when adjacent to lava, 4 GP. That's only producing 2 GP. Maybe it needs the other 2? Don't know. Science! We gonna science this bad boy up. I could break out the book and read, but that's just not as much fun sometimes. Sometimes I like to figure it out on my own. So that's 4 all the way around. That did not seem to help. What if we did one below? Would that help? I do not know. Well, let's just make a little spot for our lava to be. And try that. So we're going to put one underneath, which means we need to put that there. Then we need to put our lava mill in place. So we need a helper block. Ooh, no power used or generated. So yeah, that does not do a darn thing. Interesting. So we can pick that up. So that shows putting it underneath is no help whatsoever. Putting it on the top doesn't seem... Well, let's see. Putting it on top. Because it's not source blocks, so the lava's flowing down beside it, but because it's not source blocks, it's not counting it. So flowing lava doesn't work. So it has to be a source block. And then that's only producing 2. Interesting. So it's really like kind of lame, actually. Unless I'm missing something. Like you can get 4 from this one little lava source block. But that's like kind of lame. Gotta say. Okay, well, that's there. That's the thing. Let us... what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I really want something to cover that. I'll put something there in a little bit. So let's go up on the roof and try these wind generators. Check those out. As the higher up you get them, the more they're going to produce, I believe. Oops. So let's just get up here on our roof. We could just go sit them up here, huh? That's like the tallest place around. And it said something about generates power from wind, power boosted by rain, north-south blocks must be clear. Okay. And we see they're producing about 1 up here. So this is north and that is south, just looking at the map up in the corner. So north-south blocks must be clear. They are. So if I pop this guy down, he's producing 1.2. Oh, it's variable. Yeah, there you go. So these are about 140. Way up here on the mountain. So let's take it down here. Slime boots for the win. And we're going to place them down here. Make sure our north-south blocks are free. Ooh, we're producing more down here. Interesting. very interesting. What if we put it in, like, down in a cave? What does that do? As long as north-south is clear, right? Yeah, look at that. Is it the lower you go? This is baffling. Because with like mechanism and immersive engineering, the higher you go, the more wind is produced. This guy seems like it's producing more the lower you go. We're going to go way down. Got a path down here to bedrock. We're going to pop them down here and see what that does. So we got flat bedrock down here. We're going to make sure our north and south is clear. Yeah, see, it's significantly lower down here, even though north-south is clear. So, oddly enough, inside our house we get the best. Ow, I'm in a block. So yeah, up here in the factory we seem to get the best results. Whatever, fair enough. Oh, see, now it's really low. Is it how far it's clear? Like, this is, see, where I had put this, there was a candle there. You know, this is pretty far clear both ways. Yeah, see, that's significantly more. So let's put this one back here. No, he's 180, 190, 2. He's 2. Yeah, look at that. Man, I don't know. These things are weird. Not terribly reliable. The water seems to be the most... Well, the fire's also very reliable. So you could produce 36 GP in a 9x9x3 with fire, or you can produce 16 GP with water. So actually fire is a little bit more efficient than water, but you do need the 3 tall instead of the 1 tall. So if you can afford the 3 tall space, your fire is probably your best bet. Now the 2 we haven't really tried. Well, we can't try the dragon egg, right? So we can't try that one because we don't have a dragon egg. We can try panels. So we got our solar panel here. So that gave us 3 of those. And we try our lunar panel. Now that we're going to need to take some lapis and put it in our resonator. And we need 3. So let me get some lapi. And we are going to cook it in the resonator here. There we go. So we made our lunar reactive dust. Oh, and we need some more polished stone. There we go. 3 lunar and 3 solar. So we will pop those up on the roof. I don't know why I went this way when I didn't just, I could have just taken the zipper. We have an elevator, though it doesn't come all the way to the roof. So we will pop the 3 lunars down. 1, 2, 3. We see they're not producing anything, of course, because it's daytime, but at night they will. There's our solar panels right there, and each one is producing 1, so that's 3 whole GP right there. So definitely not efficient, but very small. So if I covered this entire roof with like half solar and half lunar, we'd be producing GP all the time and would be pretty well off, I would think. I forgot I brought power up here. Interesting. So now we've got GP, which means we should be able to go in here and get some mobbage going. However, we haven't built... I hear bad things. You got caught. Get dead. Stupid spider. So we haven't built a chute right here. You know, it will do us no good to have blaze come pouring out of that hole and just light us up. You know, that's no bueno. So we need to come up with some form of something. So I'm thinking maybe glass panes. Let's see here. If we do glass panes, I think it'll keep them from seeing us. And we get to still watch them fall, which is kind of cool, though these are kind of a hassle to build. So let me get these in place, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so looking at this, I am a little bit worried because I can belly up to the bar here and look straight up, which means the mobs could see me. So I'd have to hit them from back here, which is doable, but I do think perhaps they might be able to get out on these corners right here. Maybe not. I would just have to be super careful not to get up here, because if I did, they would aggro. I think I'm going to have to go with solid glass blocks instead of panes. Remember, we also have zombies, so we have baby zombies to contend with. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to switch over to just straight glass. I think that's going to give us more options. I am going to use dark glass, which I thought I made a bunch of, which apparently I didn't. Anyway, it's glass that we're using up here. This dark clear glass from Ender.io, it does not allow light through it. So if I were to turn off all the lights in here, the lights from in here would not shine through into that room. So I think we're going to use that because I don't want the light shining up, but I do still want to be able to see through it. So, I do have some. Yes, blocks light. Excelente. So let me get all this replaced. Alright, so I've got the glass in, and I've put these steel sheet metal slabs just because we had some extra ones in the system. Any old slab will do, but now you can see I can't get in there far enough for the mobs to see me. And I think that will prevent the babies from getting out. So now what we need to do is go up here and ride the rail, because we need to break out this block here. Yep, that worked. So they won't be able to get out. And we should be safe. Let's get this in place. There we go. Now I need to get some dark glass. And because these are disturbed spawners, I shouldn't need to turn off these lights, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyhoozle. And we need to get the spawners in here. What's going to be the best way to do that? I dug out room up there to put in some turning off bits. I think we're going to go ahead and make those. Just better to put them in place now than I don't have to think about it again. So let's go with, oops, not here. Let's go down here. We're going to use devices from RF Tools. We're going to use these redstone transmitters and receivers. So I want to make 2 of each. So we need these bases. So let's get 4 bases. Let's get 1, 2 transmitters, and then we're going to go with receivers, which we need comparators for. Oop, out of redstone torches. Just make a couple of stacks of those because you always need redstone torches. And 1 and 2. So I'm going to get a chest. And we're going to do these one at a time because these are easy to screw up if you're not careful. So I'm going to pop the chest down right here. I'm going to put 1 receiver and 1 transmitter in there, so we only have 1 of each in our inventory. That should keep me from screwing up. And now I'll just carry this out here. Just because I don't want to deal with those things. There we go. And we're going to go... Oh, you know what I should grab before I go over there is some conduit. Conduit. Now I want this redstone conduit. We're going to need more than that, I think. Now this is from Ender.io. That should be enough. And we're going to pop up here. And we're just going to go up into our little chamber. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And what I need is space enough. I don't want things spawning, so I don't want too much space. Actually, this will be fine. So I need to get a... I'm going to take this transmitter, and I'm going to pop it down. I'm going to take this receiver, and I'm going to bap the transmitter. Now, see, the transmitter is on channel 1. The receiver has no channel right now. So if I bap the transmitter with it, you see now it has channel 1. So this receiver is bound to this transmitter. Now I can pick this transmitter up. It'll still be channel 1. So channel 1 receiver, channel 1 transmitter. This is why I say it can get a little confusing if you're carrying more than one in your inventory, because if we did that with our, if we had multiple receivers and we hit them against a transmitter, they're all going to get that channel, which is not necessarily what we want. So I'm going to pop that receiver down just like so. And actually, let's... I think I want the conduit to come down right there. Which means we can put 1 here and 1 here, and that'll be fine. Okay. So we're going to put our receiver right there. Now, where the orange arrow is right there is where it's going to output its signal. So we're going to connect this conduit right there, and you can see it outputting just like so. We are going to set it to output. No, we want it to input. I can never remember this on Ender.io. So I think we want to input with red. And we're just going to bring this down like so. This is going to be our control cable to tell it to turn the spawners on and off. So we'll put one spawner there, one spawner there, and this, we can change the color of this cable and it'll turn different ones on and off. So let's grab our other, well, let's see, this one's 1. I think we're gonna put them, yeah, I made a little space right here. So I think we can, I'd kind of like to go right there. Is there enough room back there before we get... So can we go... Excellent, 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 excellent. So we'll pop that there. We'll pop 2 blocks there. And we're going to pop our channel 1 transmitter right there. Now it is facing the wrong direction. See this little blue arrow, cyan color arrow? This is where it's inputting power from. We want it to input from this block because we want to put a lever on that block. So we need to turn it around. So for that, we can use our Yeta wrench. And boom, so now we have it facing that block. So if we put a lever on this block, that will send power into this transmitter, which will send it up to that receiver and down that cable on the red channel, which is what we want. Now let's grab these 2 and we'll pop that transmitter down, and we see there we go, channel 2, because I hadn't clicked a receiver on it yet. Now it's showing channel 2, which is excellent. So here's our transmitter. We need to turn him around. There we go. And now we need to go get that receiver upstairs. And we're going to put him right here. Just like so. So there's our channel 2. So channel 1, channel 2. Take our conduit, come across. We're going to change him to green. Fantastic. So now he's outputting on red and he's outputting on green. So as long as we have one machine or one spawner set to red and one set to green, we should be good. So what I want to do now is hold a torch because I can't flip and see. And I want to fill all the space in because we don't want anything to be able to spawn up here. There we go. Excellent. And that should keep anything from spawning there. Now, we're going to need to kind of get around behind these spawners. So they're going to be right here. So we want to go off to the side here. So we can kind of get to the back of them and do our settings. Now, we're going to put the blaze spawner on the bottom. I think this is the blaze spawner. Yes, it is. And we're going to put the other spawner above it, like so. And then we're going to put blocks on top of them like that so they can't spawn above it. And they've already spawned. And they can't go down because there's dirt in the way. At least the zombies can't see us. Could we please? Could we please? Click with our yellow wrench. Thank you. Such a challenge. I love it. Oh, we just gotta set the colors, right? So this guy we're gonna set to red. And oh, this is a bad place to be. Let me out. Well, crap. Now all our stuff's inside that thing. Oh, this should be entertaining. Hey, it works. I mean, look at this. How did he see me? This is horrible. How in the world did he see me? That sorry little sucker. So yeah, blood magic's a little painful. Yep. Probably could have gone with a mob a little nicer than a blaze. Alright. And we're going to step back. We're going to get our armor on. Get our stuff ordered. Now, y'all all need to go get dead. Well, they're still spawning like crazy. And hey, look at all the free goodies. Okay. Did I break out the back of this thing? I hope not. No, okay, I didn't. Good. You can just sit in there. Get dead. Give me your bits. Alright, so we need to clear out this room and get our color set. Oh, you know what it is? Dang it. I'm a moron. I never set these guys to... I set them to active all the time. I never set them to active only on redstone. Gosh, that's stupid. Alright, let's fight our way in here. Yeah. Redstone on. Redstone on. That should do it now. Yeah, only on with redstone, and we turned off the redstone, so whew. Man, brain damage, tell you what. That should get us. Alright, so we only have this lever on right now. And that is producing blaze. You can see from in here, all we have inside the chamber is blaze. So if we kill these guys, and we will mark this guy as blaze, and this guy as the zombie. Alright guys, as you see, it is working a treat. We are producing our reinforced, we've got reinforced slates and blank slates. Just dropping stone on there, and it is consuming. And as we need more, we just come up here and just make with the wacky. And they come in at a rate faster than we need, or faster than this thing can produce. And we'll look at automating this guy later. I do have some ideas on how to do that. But I do think that is all the time I got for this episode. Sure do appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me, as always. And until next time, y'all get out there and make some noise. See ya.